Assalamu alaikum and very good morning dear students. This is our video lesson 12 and this lesson is for chapter 10. Chapter 10 is basic concepts of geometry and topics are basic terms used in geometry and 2D planes and its types. Dear students, please open your mathematics books, new countdown, book 6. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to identify and learn the basic terms used in geometry as points, lines and planes, and recognize 2D planes and their types. Now, shapes and lines which we can see around us. The common shapes and lines are sphere, cylinder and cones, pyramids and prisms, circles and concentric circles, ellipse and oval. Actually, ellipse is more mathematical term for oval, and polygons. The examples are hexagon, quadrilaterals and triangles, straight lines as line, line segment and ray, and parallel lines, perpendicular lines and angles. Here are some common examples of different shapes and lines around us, and these are given on page 147 and 148 of your book. You can see sphere, circle, concentric circle, oval and hexagon, triangles and straight lines and parallel lines, and all of these you can see around us. This is beehive, this is orange, and there are so many things, rugby and earth and eggs, and all of these are the shapes which I took the name. You can write more examples of these shapes or some more shapes, and please take a piece of paper and jot down different shapes and their examples from your surrounding or from your environment. Now, shapes and lines, there are some very prominent shapes as point. A point indicates position. It has no dimension. No dimension means it has no length, no breadth or no height, no thickness, nothing. So example, point A is, and we can write point A like this. Line segment. A line segment is a series of points bound at both ends, or a line segment is specified with two endpoints. Like this is example of a line segment, line AB, and it has two endpoints A and B. Ray. A ray has a definite starting point and extends to infinity on the other side. Like this is starting point and it never ends. Like this arrow shows that it is moving, going and going and going on. And the line. A line is composed of an infinite number of points extending both sides, and these arrows shows that we can extend A and B from both sides. This is example of line. Now, some different type of lines. Collinear points. Three or more points lying on a straight line are called collinear points. Like this is the example, A, B, C and D. These are 4 points and they are lying on one line. Non-collinear points, the points which are not lying on a straight line, is known as non-collinear points. Like here, C and D are not on this line, so these are non-collinear points. Now, concurrent lines. If two or more lines passing through a point, like point of intersection, they are called concurrent lines. Like here, this is line RS, this is PQ, and even one more line. These three lines are intersecting at this point, so these are called concurrent lines. Non-concurrent lines, so the lines which do not pass through the same point are called non-concurrent lines. Here you can see line P and line Q. They are intersecting at this point. Q and R intersecting at this point, and P and R over here. But all these three lines are non-concurrent because these three lines are not passing or not intersecting at one point, so these are non-concurrent lines. Now, plane. A plane is a two-dimensional surface. The dimensions are length and breadth. This is a plane. We can call it rectangle, but in more advanced geometrical language we call it plane. And tilted plane. when a plane is a little tilted or not straight, so we call it tilted plane. So example, the horizontal and vertical plane. This is horizontal when we spread a sheet for work on a table, so this is an example of horizontal plane. If we put that sheet on the wall, so it will be the example of vertical plane. And if two planes are parallel, so these are parallel planes. And intersecting planes, the example is this, like two planes are intersecting at this line. Now dimensions. The shapes which we have done have different dimensions, like point has no dimension, line has one dimension which is length, plane has two dimensions, width and length, or we can call it length and breadth, and solid shapes have three dimensions, width, length and depth or breadth. Now summary of today's lesson. What we learned today? We learned basic terms used in geometry as points, lines and planes, and 2D planes and their types.